Hello? No, I can't hear that.
Hello? Can you hear us? The one?
Hello?
Yes! Right, we just need some viewers now because everybody's nicked off. Hey, lad. Can you hear us? The one? Did you hear you? Aye. Got 6. Give a comment if you can hear us now, please. Thank you.
Can you not send it back out?
What's that? Send.
Like an invite? No.
Yeah, because my phone's on the what do you call it?
Right.
Can anybody hear us? 7 viewers. Can you hear us? I just need a yes. Gary, speak as well if you can.
Can you hear her?
I just need a yes. Gary, speak as well if you can.
Can you hear her? Yeah, we can. We're in.
Right, we're in, lads. We're in. Right, let's start the show again. Welcome to Talking Turf. Honestly, I apologise with that. As you can see, we've Gary's knocked up a new studio here, and we are we're trying this new method, and it hasn't worked. So back to the drawing board we go. But I'm Melly Barnes,
And I'm Gary Brotherton.
and you are about to get to Nada Crack. Right then, so apologies once again, everybody, because you know it's not very nice, but we're just starting off and we're just getting used to it. But I think it would be rude, Gary, if we didn't start off with Newcastle
Thursday night.
because we ended and the result hadn't come in, had it?
No. So back to Thursday night to get the last of the midweek's fixtures in. Obviously, Newcastle were away to Everton, as we know. Good win for Everton, I think.
Right, definitely
3-0. Newcastle look like they're starting to run out of legs a little bit. The games is coming fast and it seems to be catching up on them.
Uh-huh.
What do you agree with that?
Oh, definitely. I said the same to a few pals who are Toon fans, and I said, like, I just, you know, at the beginning of the season, I couldn't see them losing. And then, like, tonight, like, even against Everton, I said to them, like, you're going to struggle there, like. But then the night, like, Melvin come in the bedroom and he says, oh, I fancy the 2-0. And I goes, they'll not win. They're knackered. They're absolutely knackered, isn't it? And it's catching up. And I don't know, I'm fearful now. Like, I think they're going to have a hard December, me, which could see them slip down the table. And then they need to get players in. And then they need to bed the players in. So, I don't know. Like, it's...
What do you think about... I think it was like 4 games in a row. I don't know what the viewers think. I didn't think he used a substitute.
For 3 games?
For 3 games. So you've got... I mean, you're playing a game every 3 to 4 days, and you've got young lads on the bench. I don't know, like, what the Toon fans obviously think. Do you not think, like, you should be giving the young lads, like, a bit of a run at if they're good enough for the bench? I mean, Miley's in there. He's a young lad. Mm-hmm. Would you not give the young lads a chance, lads?
You've got
anyone the viewers?
I think you've got to.
I think, like, you don't know what you got to get out of them. Like,
well, you're guaranteeing that they're going to be playing for the badge. I mean, because, you know, but they're going to go out in January and buy players. They've got to buy players. And are they going to have the same mentality as the players that's there? You know, like, do you overpay and get good players in? Or do you look in the market and try and get just stopgap for the summer? You know, like, it's going to be a tough month. And I think the Knights game has proved it, you know, like, because Spurs were struggling. There's no doubt about it, you know, like, of recent. You know, there's...
They lost on Thursday night as well, 2-1 at home to West Ham.
Aye. So, you know, they struggle to keep a lead. So 1 out, and you're thinking if the two can get one, then they can maybe get a draw out of it.
Aye.
2 out. Richarlison, he skipped past. Trippier must be absolutely knackered because he's been done quite a few times the last. I mean, he's been in for the mal season, so we can't really criticise him. But
I think it's that system, the system Newcastle play. It needs like it's a lot of intensity. You've got to be like at the top of your game, haven't you? Like you're running up and doing it and playing that every 3 to 4 days, and it's the same players game after game after game. I mean, I think it's really bad management because I think he's gonna burn his candle at both ends with the players that he's got, and they'll end up dropping like flies. Like trying to keep that up, I think. Anyway.
I know, and it's mental to even talk about because like the day that everybody does it to us, you lose a few games, like it's not looking like it is, and then all of a sudden it's 10 hard good. You've just said there, like is it bad management? Should he have brought more players in? Now that he's in the Champions League, now that they had a good run in the Carabao Cup, so chances are they probably will again, which they have. And now that there's a lot of games, especially in December. Do you think he should have recruited better, or do you think he should have just bring in some youth?
I think they've got like a few squad players, haven't they? Like Richie and Dummett and players like that. He used them in the cup.
Sure, see, they hammered us for them.
But where are they at? Are they injured or?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, mate. But there must be. That's the only thing I can think of. Because why are you not using them? Why are you keeping the same team? You're not playing Ashington, or Blythe Spartans. You're playing in the highest tempo league in the whole entire world.
And that's what I'm saying. Like that system they play is like so demanding of them white players, isn't it? I think you should have had like another. Like you've got to be able to change it if you need a. Outside of Almiron and Gordon, I don't really think they've got many players that can come in and play that role, other than bring Wilson on and move Isaac to like the left. Because the young lads,
Wilson's supposed to be coming back.
He played the day. He came on.
I just seen the first half. Apart from the kids, which ended absolutely. Aye, Tom Dixon. Do you think Newcastle should sign De Gea?
I would definitely. He's way better than what Dubravka is. He doesn't like to come off his line. That's his only criticism I give him. But shots up and stuff like that. I mean, we've seen him. He was brilliant for us. I mean, in hindsight, I wish one of them kept him.
Yeah. I just think he's run his course
on his toes, like.
But I know you say that, and we're jumping to Man United now, but he hasn't even given his buy-in or a chance. He's,
he needs to go now.
He needs to go now. It's absolutely mental. It was looking positive the night on here. I mean, we've got 42 in watching, so thanks very much for the 42 watching. But I think we'll get with 50 before, and there was just nice sound. But like I say, we're trying to put this on, and it hasn't worked. So thanks for bearing with us, and thanks for coming back in. If you can give a share now online, that would be absolutely fantastic to help people now that we are online on Facebook. Because I'm unable to. So what Paul says, whose boot is that, Melly? That is a signed Wayne Rooney golden boot, Paul. Absolutely minting it, and Gary's using it as a coaster. Unbelievable, mate. Absolutely unbelievable. Right, let's crack on with the rest of the results, mate.
Right, so Spurs 1, West Ham 2. That was the other fixture on Thursday night. I mean, good win away from home for West Ham in the London derby. West Ham's hit-y-missy. Spurs is hit-y-missy. You would have expected Spurs to win that, but I mean, like I say, demanding, like they're the same. I mean, few injuries. And that's people seem to be losing, don't they? Not many teams is putting a run together apart from Villa, who we're going to get to. But it seems to be a lot of games for people to cope with, doesn't it?
I was on my mate show at the beginning of the year in UFC Matters, and I predicted that it was going to be the best Premier League ever, and you've got to say that so far it's pretty good, like. Because anybody can beat anybody. I mean, we should be beating Bournemouth, mate. We'll get to that as well. We'll get to that as well. We should be beating Bournemouth. But it didn't surprise you that we didn't?
No. We were confident going into it. Obviously, you're going to be at home. But I don't think there's any easy games in the Premier League.
No, everybody.
I'm not just saying that because obviously we lost, but I honestly didn't. I mean, like say we kind of get to the other games, but the likes of Luton and stuff, I mean, they look like they gave a really good account of themselves today against City.
Brilliant.
Villa, like there's no easy games.
No.
But anyways, that was the.
But I like Spurs and West Ham. West Ham beat Spurs 2-1 at it's a London derby, and they beat them 2-1 on the home turf. And then the day they got to Fulham. Another London derby and get humped
5-0.
5-0. Like nobody would have predicted that.
Nah,
absolutely not. It's absolutely mental. So we'll jump to Man United quickly because we've got a message here from Ethan, and I want to have a little bit of a rant here. So Eric Ten Hag out or give him more time. So let us just say this, right? Because it's getting ridiculous. People are saying Eric Ten Hag out. Like, let's look at it. Let's look at it properly here, right? So you've got Martial, you've got Varane, Casemiro, Rashford, all these players who are underperforming, and in total, they're probably taking away about 3 million a week in wages between them, right? 3 million quid a week in wages, and they're not performing. Martial has had over £100 million off Manchester United in wages in the time that he's been here, right? And he scored 89 goals. 89 goals for over 100 million quid. What other job would he get away with that? None. So my answer to Ethan and like a lot of Man United fans is, of course, Eric Ten Hag is the right man. If you look at the players who aren't overpaid, little shits, yeah? Garnacho, Menu, Dan Gore, he's seen him on. Hoyland, he's just young. He's only on 60 grand a week. And he's seen how good they are under Eric Ten Hag. He's absolutely phenomenal with young players. But these other players who the Glazers will not allow them to leave because they sell far too many shirts and attract far too many people to the ground, makes them money. They are not allowed to leave. Eric Ten Hag cannot get rid of them. He's tried it with Sancho. Yeah, he got rid of Ronaldo because I don't know what's happened there, but he got rid of Ronaldo, Sancho, and the rest of them. He cannot do no way because the greedy owners aren't allowing him. Eric Ten Hag
stupid contracts and they'll not leave.
Eric Ten Hag wanted Frankie de Jong, yeah, and he got Casemiro, who is, let's be fair, he had an excellent first season when he come, but like the Premier League is, when they come up from the Championship, they'll have a good first season scoring goals because the Premier League needs to get to know them as a player. Casemiro did that. He's too slow for the Premier League because he gets caught, and it's been proven. Like, he's getting yellow card. He never received a red card the whole time he was at, what do you call it? You know, like
in more time on the ball and Spain.
You're doing it in the Premier League. So that's who he got. An over-aged Casemiro. Granted, he's a good player and he's won a lot. But he wanted Frankie de Jong, who's better in my opinion.
Well, he's younger.
And he's younger.
He wanted to build a team around him, didn't he?
Aye. And then he wanted Haaland, did he not? No, Kane.
He
wanted Harry Kane, and he got Weghorst, right? He wanted who's that? Timber? Julian Timber. Julian Timber. He wanted Julian Timber. But that's
no, he's good.
That's all right.
But it wasn't his first choice.
It wasn't his first choice. So literally, he is. I cannot say like on camera what he's thinking because I could end up what he call it. But he's literally doing what he can with his hands tied. But if you look at the youth of Manchester United, right, they're absolutely brilliant. They're coming through. When they come on, everybody wants them to play on the sidelines. Do they or do they not? The one Palestri on, the one Garnacho on, the one Hoyland to start.
That is the criticism, though, because I didn't blame the manager, like you're saying, for the signings and stuff like that. But do you not think, like, so when Anthony and stuff isn't performing, rather than waiting for Rashford and stuff to come on the bench, off the bench and stuff like that, should he not be given, like, Palestri more of a go?
Aye.
Because he seems to be coming away from Man United to international duty. and he starts every game for Uruguay. He's starting. Like they're like beating Brazil and Argentina and stuff. They're not duck eggs. So they obviously see something in him.
They need duck eggs, but it's not the Premier League week in week out. He goes out there and he plays 2 games in a week, 10 days. Yeah, so you can do that in the Premier League. He nurtured Garnacho in, and look at the.
Do you think he's going to get time though?
But look at what we're getting new because of it.
Right.
You know, like we're screaming out for Garnacho to start, and he wasn't. He was persistent with Rashford. Then Rashford actually burnt his bridge completely. Newcastle, and there was another game before that where he wasn't tracking back, and people were just getting sick of it. So he started Garnacho. He can't drop him now. Once Palestri does that as well, and he becomes undropped. Same as Menu. You've got Palestri, Garnacho, Menu, Hoyland. The service is going to be there, mate.
I just think like they should have been given a go.
I believe they should be given a go, but to answer the question of even should he be sacked? Absolutely not.
No.
What are you going to do? Like
I do question some of his changes. That's all I would say.
I do question some of them, but still, he's like
he shouldn't be sacked.
Yeah, but you know, he's got Rashford 300 grand sitting on the bench. He's got so he might feel a little bit obliged to play them
because it's shareholders.
Aye, you know what I mean?
Being told he's got to.
Aye, he isn't the manager. He's more of a coach. The manager manages the whole club. He isn't given that reign. He's like, no, you just coach. You coach and we'll do everything else. And that's not the way it should be. And that's what's wrong with football today.
What sponsorship deals? They want to see him on the pitch.
Aye, they need him on the pitch.
Aye.
Because if you're not on the pitch, then they'll not pay. They'll say, oh, no, we're not paying for that because we're paying you $2 million a year. Marcus is one of our ambassadors and he's sitting on a bench. You're disgracing what actual trade. Nobody's buying. No, so they'll just say we're pulling out, and they can't afford to do that.
Rid of them owners.
We need them gone. We need them gone, and people are going to say, "Oh, you lost 3-0. You want them?" It's always been the owners out for me. We need somebody fresh to come in. Newcastle, you know exactly what we're on about here, man, because you went through it as well, and you hated it. You know what I mean? Like if you haven't got the owners that you've got right now, yeah, then that's turmoil, isn't it? People are screaming the day saying, "Oh, we're not going to," but they're not, because they're now that they've got good battle. So they've got a little bit more leeway.
It's not us saying like we haven't had money and stuff like that. We're now that we've had money to spend on transfers, but the managers aren't being given the money to spend on the transfers that they want. They're being dictated to who they can and cannot buy. Is that right?
100%.
Solskjaer, I mean, he wanted Haaland, he wanted Rangnick wanted Alvarez in the January. 19 million, he was told no, he went to City. Looks an excellent player. Haaland from Mulder was 5 million.
Wanted to come to United.
Apparently,
Did you Bellingham not?
Jude Bellingham
was in the car park. He was in the car park at Old Trafford. They're not. Well, they're unbelievable, man.
So if you seem to be spending money,
aye. Even saying so, start the young lads over the lazy players. 100%, we're behind you. And if you watched the game yesterday, we were in the crowd, wasn't it? And he took Martial off. And as a professional footballer, right, he got took off, and the whole ground erupted because Hoyland was getting brought on. He must have felt that big, but he's not asked, is he?
Doesn't give a shit.
He's still picking 300 grand up. He's not bad. Let's have a look at a couple more. Datecom. Eric Ten Hag is on a hiding out, in my opinion, lads, unless he can get them big name players out that has passed their sell-by date. But like you said, they sell shirts, so it looks like it's stalemate. All right? Dave Armstrong, cheers, Dave. Appreciate the message, mate.
On that, what will happen is we'll get owners that'll come in and they'll clear them out because they'll quite happily spend the money to pay the contracts, and they'll spend it and they'll get rid of them because the manager will go in and he'll say, look, I've got a list of about 10 players here on paper, they're the big earners. I didn't want them in my club. Yeah. They're toxic, but he can't say that at the minute because he's got his hands tied.
His hands is tied.
And he's got to play them, otherwise he will get sacked because if they just refuse to play, he's knackered.
Mental. You know what it is? Like the Geordie tune for life here. You're making a good point here because it's going to push us on to something else here. Melly is a time for Man U went for players around the 40 million mark who really want to play for the shirt and not these big names who only come for the money, if we are being honest. Cheers. Mate, that's an absolutely fantastic question. It was something that I mentioned on the bus yesterday on the way down to Old Trafford. I said years ago, Manchester United, they would poach players in the Premier League, like Berbatov, York, Cole, loads, didn't they? You know, like that was the breeding ground, was the Premier League. So they would bring the players through, but then they would go in for players. Andy Cole from Newcastle. But they were Premier League proven. Do you know what I mean?
Good players he was bringing in.
Now, what they're doing is they're going abroad to these luxuries for, you know, and paying over the odds for these players. And then they get to the Premier League, it's freezing. You know, the big tackle in the air from Luton in the 18th minute, and they cannot hack it. They didn't want to know. The flair players, they're looking for fouls. British players, and even foreign players who have come through the ranks in the British youth academies are immune to that.
Aye.
They're absolutely mint, and that's where Man United's success was. That's what they did. It was that was Manchester United all over. Nowadays, we've got it. You know, like we've got the likes of Bruno, who instead of wanting to play football, 90% of his game now is to, as soon as he feels a touch, is to go and do and look for a free kick. Anthony, exactly the same. Rather than like yesterday, I said to you, like he goes, no, it's a foul, and I goes, it's a foul. But he could have stayed on his feet and he beat the two defenders, but he went down because he wanted a free kick on the edge of the box and he didn't get it because the referee's looking at it and because you're trying to deceive them and you're doing it all the time, they're cutting on you and they're going, no, you're not getting it.
So
Get up, you little soft shite.
So even if it is 9 times out of 10, he mightn't get it anyway.
Aye.
Because they automatically think that he's throwing it.
Aye.
You're totally right.
Aye.
Aye.
Mental. And then like
James Madison, 35 million in the summer. Like, why would like us, Newcastle, like we should all be now, are they? I didn't think Man United, if I'm being honest, I didn't think Man United would have gotten him for 35 million.
No.
But it would have been
the same as Newcastle knew.
And
Newcastle going in for somebody is going to be a lot more money than what it is for any other club.
That's it.
It's just the way that it is, and it's the way it's been for years. Like, but what was I going to say there? Man United, right, in the summer, right? Summer gone, right? Or even Newcastle, let's say, right? They gone away and they buy James Madison, right? They buy Declan Rice, yeah? They buy Harry Kane. They're winning the league.
You're definitely up there, aren't you?
They're winning the league. Harry Kane is
in
like
that team.
Not, you know what it is? You know, if you're Manchester United, right? And you're letting Harry Kane go to Bayern Munich. Just go in, pay 150 million. And I don't agree with it. Pay 150 million or pay 200 million because that's what they do anyway. You're going to sell the shirts on the first week because it's a massive signing. He's going to come in the Premier League and he knows exactly how to score goals. And he'll score you 30, 35 a season.
You know
Not only that, mate, right? He's going to bring in Hoyland, yeah? Hoyland is going to be like nurtured by probably one of the best strikers in the Premier League's ever seen.
If anyone could kill Harry Kane, it would be Man United.
When Dallow's running through the wing and there's a square ball on and he tries to shoot, you know, like, and then he puts his hand up and doesn't want to know. He like runs right and back up. He's not looking at Hoyland, you know, like when he hasn't squared it. I'm thinking, can you square that ball there? And it's ones each. And Hoyland's looking and he's thinking, a right back. It's just one doing the wing, like done all right, but then shot from the clearest angle. A right back. You're a right back. You've been a right back your whole life. So square the ball and I'll score. He's just mental. I'm just honestly so frustrated Manchester United at the minute. Like you can't put in a performance like that in against Chelsea. But
we said, didn't we, on the bus? We said yesterday, like Chelsea could in that game. I know we won the game 2-1. We could have scored 4, 5, 6. Chelsea had chances now. If you look back at that game, we were wide open. Like we haven't got a midfield. I mean, Anand McTominay has been doing well for Man United, but when you've got him and Bruno Fernandes in the middle, there's just no balance in there for me. Like he's scoring goals, but as a midfielder, he kind of control the play, he kind of dictate the play, and he gives the ball away too easy.
Far too easy.
He cannot retain it. Like that's the issue with Man United. It's same as Bruno Fernandes. I think he tried yesterday. 2 or 3 passes, cross-field balls, straight to the fullback. He was at fault for the first goal because he tries a stupid little flick and then a little dink out instead of just getting rid of it and get the team up the pitch. I mean, Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw, they're sitting there and they're total sitting ducks. Well, Amrabat sat in front of them because you're playing with 2 out-and-out wingers. You've got Anthony on one side, Garnacho on the other, who's up the far end. You've got Delore and Regulon bombing up, who's past them. They try a
Regulon was
shitty little pass,
Aye.
lose the ball, and then before you know it, right, Bournemouth's 4-on-2.
You know the difference. I'm sure the manager even said, he says, like, we knew how Man United were going to play,
and
we knew that we would get chances.
Aye.
And you know what it is? They took a chance, and that's where we're going, right?
So
We were
was
relentless
funny.
for 20 minutes.
So
He's a good player. You that's the kind of striker you want, isn't it?
Aye.
Is it or not?
It is.
You know, you put him in like a top 5 team, he's scoring goals. Week in, week out. He's a beast.
Enough for Man U anyway.
Aye, Melly, we're both getting hammered, but at least we in Chelsea. Christ. He's right, like.
He's right, like.
How much they spent £1 billion?
I mean, I feel for the Chelsea fan because you know what it is? They're in the exact same position as us. They've got an absolute knacker. Gannon just playing Dream Team.
Mm-hmm.
He's just buying who he wants, like for stupid money. And the manager's just sitting there, like, I don't think he's got a say in it.
No.
Like that Graham Potter, I mean, done a mint job. And he had
Brighton.
obviously, it was Brighton, he had like that Dean Ashworth who's went to Newcastle.
I reckon he's the main reason why Newcastle are so united.
Aye.
Because he's supposed to be absolutely amazing, you know, like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And you can see, because look at Brighton. When Potter was there, he was amazing. Newcastle
Getting
and
the right characters in.
Manchester United was supposed to be getting him in there, but if you're anybody, you're running 1,000,000 miles from Manchester United, aren't you? They'll ruin your career.
Wait, I think we're one of the only clubs in world football that doesn't have a sporting director. No,
It's
that's
mental,
because the different ones,
so much
people
needs put
telling
right.
them, the Glazers will not have people telling them football and decisions because they're shit frightened that they're going to spend money where they didn't want it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is, top and bottom.
Aye. Yeah, Billy Noble saying putting your 200k a week job at risk by playing young'uns is a reason too many young'uns don't get a chance.
Fair point, maybe. I don't know.
I know, but there's got to be a point. I mean, more so with Newcastle at the minute, Billy, that they've got to give the young'uns a chance. That you're literally like burning the legs off your first 11, and you're going to end up
2 injuries away from being an absolute disaster.
Like this could actually go absolutely like Pete Tong, where like, and I mean Pete Tong because if you overplay them and they're out for 6 months, you're knackers. You're not like. Let's be honest. You've got a good first 11, haven't you? You've got a good United first 11, and you've got quite 3 or 4, maybe I would say, players who can back it up and come into the team and not make much of a difference or make you as weak as you were last year, because you made substitutions last year and you weren't as you weren't as strong, but you are this year. But if these injuries start coming now by overplaying these players, and then your backups come in, who
and at the start of the game,
like you are,
rather than giving them 20
you're in
minutes
big trouble. So I think it's a good time that they've got the young'uns in. It's as simple as that. They've got to bring them in. They'll play for the badge.
What's the point?
They love Newcastle and Newcastle through and through. You know, like they've come through the ranks. Majority of them. Yeah, but Billy says we're still at 25% financially of MUFC. That will improve over the next few years, but to match MUFC financially is impossible. It is, but I think you need to move stadium. I think you need that's the first move that you need to do. And I'm not trying to be funny or get your backs up or anything like that, because you're at the end of the day, you know, they haven't got the same history of what Old Trafford's got. You know, people want to knock Old Trafford doing. I'm totally against it.
And it's owned by the council, I think, isn't it?
Aye, so just move up the way a little bit, get a bigger capacity. You've got loads of sponsorships coming in. So you're right. You'll never. I don't think nobody will ever be on the same page as United, apart from like Barcelona. They're the two, aren't they? Really, they are. They are the biggest selling clubs in the world, man.
Real Madrid.
Even if you're like crap, like we've been for the last 10 years. You're still everybody's cup final, no matter what you say. And the revenue will constantly always be fantastic, which is why they're having so much trouble letting go the greedy American gets, because they've seen what it brings.
For a year, so something's happening. When something's happening,
I hope so.
We need to wait and see on that one.
I still never understood why we sold Andy Cole. Massive mistake, mate. I agree with you. At the time, I was thinking, there's no way you let him go, like. But you just cannot stop them. You cannot keep them. You know, like when Manchester United come knocking, mate. You know, like you can. and it's proven over the years, isn't it? You got not now, but back in them days, you know, like if
anyone that was good.
Aye, they wanted to be there. Trippier v's son, Ray Dunn says. Aye, he had a bit of a nightmare, didn't he, Trippier?
Well, you see,
He's tripping over his feet.
I think in a few games, last few games, he's made a couple of mistakes, and against Everton the other night, I think he was at fault for a couple of them. But I mean, you can't keep them good performances up when he's playing 2 or 3 games a week. That's the point that we're making. Right. Like you've got.
No, you can't. Like, I
mean, if you look at Pep.
Aye, like you will bring him in, won't you, every now and then?
Watch what he does. I mean, you very rarely see the same fullbacks and wingers like Sir Grealish and or Doku. You very rarely see them and the fullbacks start game after game. You'll switch it between the Champions League and stuff when they've got 2 or 3 games. And everyone's like, oh, why is he going to spend 50 million on 4 fullbacks? That's the answer. There you go, because they're the most... the most demanded players on the pitch for him. He's fullbacks because they can't up and down, but they also come inside to. If you watch John Stones, you see when he comes inside,
drops into the defensive midfielder.
They're so demanding,
and he's good at it as well.
He is. He's meant at it.
But I mean, like you probably heard me say before, like these players are getting that much money that they should stop moaning about playing so much. Like. So I stick to that point, but still, you've got to have rotation. You've got to have a good squad. You've got to have rotation. I mean, like let's say for instance, you had enough players. Aye, they are. Aye, I mean, definitely are. And these guys have overachieved. And that's
another 3 seasons. If you think
they'll have a good squad.
They'll have a good squad. That's what they've got to think. And that's how I would think. I would just enjoy the run as you can at the minute. Obviously, you're gonna if you fall short, but just enjoy it.
And I think if you speak to like the realistic Toon fans, they'll say that here. Do you know what I mean? But we've got fans like that as well, haven't we? Like, the ones that they still think they're gonna win the league, and you've got to be realistic. And the Toon's the same, aren't they?
We said like when we got a Ten Hag. Obviously, it's been a good 18 months now. You've got to give him like a good few seasons. I mean, Arteta, I think he finished like 8th for his first 2 seasons.
It was 2. I reckon he was 2 games away from the sack.
That's what I was about to say. And then look at them now. Like he's building his squad. He's getting rid of the dead. I mean, they paid 70-odd million for that Pep year. He went and he was like, look, he's no good. He's shite. He faced him, got rid of him, and they allowed him to do it. He brought young lads in, and you've just got to. It's a rebuild. I mean, we've been having rebuilds for the last
rebuild after rebuild,
But this time we've been told that it's the rebuild. So
I might start calling with Persimmon United.
No,
that's why Geordie to the life as an example. Looking forward at West Ham, there are players out there who just need a chance to prove they are good enough, and will give 100% in every game. Definitely, mate, and I think that's what he's gonna have to do. I don't think there's any other way around it now. Good show, lads. Enjoying the crack eventually. Yeah, Craig. Honestly, mate, we've had an absolute nightmare. I tried to plug in this computer. Everything was working. The mics were working, but there was just no output sound. And I'm not sure why, so I'll get to that, mate. It was a nightmare. But thanks very much to everybody who's come back on and watched. I really appreciate it. And we'll get back. What do you think of what of a new setup anyway? Gary built this in about 2 hours, though. Absolutely amazing. Then Callum come and laid this. And
you told me you done it.
I put the sticker on that we got off David Coleman, who's another Toon fan. I hope he's tuning in. Right, here we go. The gentle giant just get rid of a couple of players for Man U and replace them. I wish it was as easy as that. That's what we're crying out for, mate. We've got Josh Wilson. Another news: we're beating Spurs 3-0 in the Women's Super League, Melly. Hey, Joey Barton, I like that one. Yeah. Sign more lads for MUFC Academy. Definitely, Ethan. I reckon we'll beat Bayern Tuesday night. They get battered 5-1 off Frankfurt as well. I don't know. It's hard one, isn't it? I don't want to drop into the Thursday nights. I mean, the only reason I'd probably want it is if like Newcastle and Liverpool, like if we ended up in Dublin and final with them, you know what I mean? And then it'll be well worth it because a lot of people don't want it. But I'd love that, mate. Like honestly, I'd be buzzing.
I do hope we'll win the game, and I hope obviously we'll stay in the Champions League because it helps for
We'll win it.
transfers and stuff. We're a
title shot, second half of the season.
No, you want to be playing European football. You don't want to be out of it because it makes you more attractive for next season. Of course it does. It's more money, more revenue, isn't it? So you always want to be in the big competitions. I think.
I agree, mate. Look at the wages Man U pay, 4 times what any UFC pay. I did actually have a look at that last night, believe it or not, Billy. I did. I was searching Man United, and I think it's 201 million a year in wages that they spend. And I think Newcastle was at about 102 million, so nearly double. We are nearly double. Cole making 20k a week to go to MUFC, making 80 or 90k a week. That's the reality of the situation. It is, it was, but it isn't anymore. They just haven't got that pull anymore, mate. It will take another 2-3 years before we have a good quality squad. Absolutely, mate. As we still have championship players at the club, but you can't get rid of everyone at once. It takes time with FFP.
That's what I said.
Aye, slowly but surely. Phil Richardson. All right, Phil. Phil's a regular on the bus. Right. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Man, your word. You said you would. I gave the 20 quid on Tuesday night. You know my thoughts on Ten Hag. Got to keep him at the moment. We're individuals and not a team.
Totally agree.
100,000,000%, mate. And that's the problem. And that's the difference with Manchester and Newcastle United. Is Newcastle are a team, but they're just struggling, like getting the good 11. Manchester United have got kind of good backup, to be fair, but they're just individuals and like. They're not a team. They're not like.
No, they're not.
They're not. They are like. They are one of like. Look at just for instance, and I mean, there's at least 1,000 instances this season alone. Dalot running down the wing, beating everybody and shooting. He wants to score that goal. He wants to be the run, knee sliding into the fancy, and I'm Diego Dalot instead of just passing it to him and letting Highland score. Simple as that.
Well,
and they're all like that. Rashford. I want to beat him. I want to score the super goal.
Another thing said on the bus was in the Everton game, because Rashford hadn't been playing well. This tells you everything you need now. Rashford's been playing crap. That's through his own fault in my eyes because he's not putting the graft in. Bruno Fernandes, Man United, get a pen. Bruno gets the ball, gives it to Rashford. Oh, I'll give him the pen because I think he deserves a goal. Right, fair enough. But you've got a striker here, new striker, that runs his arse into the ground week in, week out, and he hasn't got a Premier League goal to his name. Should you not be giving it to him first?
Aye.
Someone that's actually tried.
100%.
That tells you everything you need in that. There's obviously a click between Bruno and Rashford straight away because they're both one of the club for me.
Bruno, Rafa, Varane, there's Dalot, there's a few of them. They can and sit and have meals with the here in Manchester, like quite often. And then you've got Onana who's gone home on his own and having a pretty bad time. Well, what does that tell you? Like, you know, you're posting on Instagram, out for a meal, David De Gea there, you know what I mean? Like, no, man, you've got to get behind the current team. You wouldn't have gotten that with the likes of Keane and that. They put the team first and themselves second all the time. That's what they did. Didn't matter who you gone by. That's how Manchester United was successful. They recruited domestically in the Premier League, and they recruited people who were leaders. And doesn't matter if it was Steve Bruce, Pallister. You could have put a captain's armband on any one of our players over the years, and they would have stood up to the plate and they were worthy of it. Now, I mean, they struggled that much they had to give it to Bruno just because he wouldn't win like a healer's chicken. He was left back majority yesterday, wasn't he? What's he doing? I think he's coming to sit next to us, Gary.
He is.
Left back.
He's given the ball away. That's what we're saying. He's given the ball away, but he's leaving his midfield. That's wide open.
Geordie tune for life. Melly, some bugger has pinched my lawn. Have you heard anything?
Nah, never seen no.
Let's tell you a quick story, right? So obviously you know that I own a carpet shop, right? So I went and got this the night. Went upstairs. It's upstairs. I parked at the front, and I opens the window, and I hide the grass out the window into the back lane. So I thought I'll just drive round, reverse up, and hide the grass straight in. So I hides out the window, shuts the door, jumps in my van. Oh, sugar, forgetting me extension from Argos. Runs to Argos, comes back, nips the Asda, gets into line move, and phone rings. It was Callum. He said, you know, Balan. for the grass. Grass is in the back lane. I've forgot all about it. I had to ring Brody and say, will you run, get me grass? Because it's a big length, you know what I mean? It was like 4x4 nearly. Aye. I said, if someone, because I often give carpets away, and I thought, if somebody sees that, they'll be thinking, oh, you'll be giving it away, man. I half expected it to be gone. I says, honest, it's a new thing for me, that, like, I'm absolutely mental. Anyway, right, let's lads. Craig Morrison, he was on the bus yesterday. Weren't you, Craig? Geordie on the bus. Still out the Geordies where you were yesterday. With his Man U top on. Aye. Watching porn. Oh, that was him. You know them videos where they make the sex noises. He opened it on the bus. Get in, lads. I think the best thing for both NUFC and MUFC is to go out to Europe and recharge, then go again. Aye, some will agree, some will disagree, Craig. I mean, if we've got to go into Europe, I know there's a potential final if we get there, but I just don't think that we're good enough to actually get there. So I'd rather, because I think Galatasaray or what do you call it will win. So it'll be out of our hands anyway, and I don't think we deserve to be there because we've been poor. I mean, we have, we've played some good games, but you've got to be clinical. You've got to finish games off. If you're 3-1 up in a game, you should be seeing them games out. I mean, Newcastle got off to a great start, and then it hasn't ended so well. But I don't know about you, but for me, I mean, you've obviously said to go out, but a lot of Toon fans will probably disagree with that. They'll want to see the European as well. If they drop into Europe,
it's been since Newcastle's been.
I know. So in one season, the Champions League, the Europa League, I
think most Newcastle fans
will want that.
Surely,
definitely. Josh Wilson, like Christian Bank. Josh. It's a must-win game, but it's all eyes on the Galatasaray game. It all depends on what their result is. Yes, agreed. Ross Hope, hi lads. Sorry, been on and off as there was no volume. Keep going, lads. Love it. I hope you explain it for me. We've been trying this out, and it's backfired, mate. But you live in London, don't you? We'll get there. Josh Wilson. Josh. What's going on with Rashford? Player this season, last season, shite this season. Mate, honestly, it's mental. He's a mank through and through. He's from Wythenshawe. You know what I mean? Like, if anybody you'd think it would be him, that would be like.
I mean, we said yesterday didn't matter the game. In fairness to him yesterday, and it should be the bare minimum to run your ass into the ground when you play in Premier League football. But yesterday, when he came on, he looked like he had been on the naughty step, didn't he? Because he was actually trying, he was running.
Mm-hmm. Why are you not doing that all season?
That's what I'm saying. But,
you know what I mean? Why are you not?
Fair enough.
Aye.
But I mean, he came on yesterday, got 15 minutes or something. But it was too late. The game was already dead and buried. His teammates had made sure of that before he even got on the pitch. So you never know. Maybe he'll get a run out midweek, and hopefully against Bayern, if he does, we can see that for like 80, 90 minutes. Mm-hmm. That would be nice. It would be nice to see them going out trying. Bayern will want to win, I think.
Aye. Well, Bayern's has been beat by 5-1, but I don't think Bayern's going to bring their best team out here, mate. They don't need to. They need to concentrate on the league. They're qualified. They've won the group. They're finishing as group leaders. Why would you send anybody out other than second 11? Like. But what happens if they're saying Harry Kane now and he gets injured and then he's out domestically for them?
Didn't they have a winter break?
Who?
Like the Germans and stuff. So maybe they've only got like a couple of games left.
It's worth having a look at that. But I can't say
that's just like so. Maybe it's the one to have like a few games. I don't know, but I think they do.
Right. Well, so all right, Army lads. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Good man.
Mate, all right.
So listen, I'm going to run the ads and we'll be back in 2 minutes. We've got a lot of time. We'll finish off with these games and then we'll go on to the Champions League games coming up, and then that'll be it. I mean, what time is it now? What time is it? 8:30. All right. I'll be getting rang me if I still running longer. Back in a more. These carpets and beds. Laying our reputation one recommendation at a time. You can find us at 63 Station Road in Ashington, Northumberland, just over the station bridge near the council offices. Email sales@melliesbedsandcarpets.co.uk or call 01670 632216. We're also on Facebook. The best quality around at the cheapest prices. JB Glazing and Joinery Limited from Ashington and Northumberland, with serving all the surrounding areas, covering all aspects of double glazing, warm roofs and joinery. Call Gary during working hours on 07825 160 777. Or you can find them on Trustpilot, where you'll find JB Glazing and Joinery with 5-star reviews. A1 Fire Stopping and Drilling Service, who specialise in installation and maintenance of passive fire protection, fire stopping and thermal insulation systems. You can email your query to martin@a1firestop.co.uk or call during work hours 07751 429 045. A1 Fire Stopping Services. Ashington Properties, whose company mission is to create high quality homes for the local people of Northumberland, and whose values are transparency, trust and loyalty. You can email them at ashingtonproperties@gmail.com or call during working hours to 07985 203 094. And finally, if you're wanting to look sharp, Must Cuts down in Newbiggin, a top class barber, you can call them on 07519 07787. Always look your best when you get cut off Muzz. Hey, we're back.
Now the crack.
Now the crack. That'll get better as we the adverts. Obviously, I'll just drafted that up quickly. I'm going to read through the comments quickly, and then we're going to crack on with these. So, lads, here's a question. Do you think Man U are a victim of their own success? I.e., a lot of top players come to the club thinking I'm a Man United now, I don't need to play and I just need to turn up 100%.
Aye, definitely.
But that's changing rapidly. It has to change. We'll have Ross Armstrong, blessing in the skies of the tomb, get put out on Wednesday. I can see Europa League, which is going to be the same amount of games. Roll on January buying players. Definitely, mate. I'd rather go out if we can't qualify. It's too much for our squad with all the injuries, so it gives us a better chance in the Premier League. Geordie Toon for life. I'll seem to be saying it. Phil Richardson, see you Tuesday, lads. Riley reckons you're taking him to Anfield. We'll see. Because Gary doesn't want to go and he's just picking his games now. But he'll be there. We'll beat Bayern 2-1. Well, we'll see, mate. That should be the second string, Brian, if that's what they bring our. Melly, I know what you're saying about Bayern not playing full strength, but on the other hand, they want Man U out in case they meet again later in the comp. Nah, I don't think so.
I don't think they'll be worried about me.
Definitely not. And 4-0 MUFC women now. JB will have the flags out. Yes. And I must look for a comment from Leanne, but it's not there. Because my son is... Leanne's just come in there during the ads and said, we need to stop talking about Man U. It's all Man U. But there's knee coming there, Leanne. So if you can say it again, I'll get it read out for little Melvin. Knee problem and all. Let's move on. Next up is...
So the Saturday games.
Aye.
Obviously, we've seen bits of it. Palace against Liverpool. Seen a few comments like from ex-pros like Shara and stuff over the weekend. Obviously, Palace was 1-0 up. I think it went 1-1, but then someone got a second yellow. Apparently, 2 very, very soft yellows, and then he ends up getting sent off. Obviously, ultimately, Liverpool ended up winning that game. Did you see any of that?
I did. I've seen it. Believe it or not, I actually watched Match of the Day last night.
Right.
I didn't think I would, but we were struggling getting I'm a Celebrity on the catch-up. So I hide it on. And have you seen Roy Hodgson's interview?
Aye.
Mate, that's like the most authentic interview you'll ever see in your life. Like, he's probably going to get ranked for it, but like, he's right. he's totally right in what he's saying. Like, Virgil van Dijk's kicking the ball off him. You know, a player of that stature to try and get him a yellow card. You know, it tells you exactly like what they were trying to do. And I say that to Duncan, me pal, that this is why Klopp and Arteta do what they do. You know, like when they're mourning every week in, week out, to influence. Because then the referees, Fergie was great at it. Like the influence the referees to maybe not make that decision next time round, and it works. It works wonders because like Liverpool should have been beat. It's as simple as that. You know, like Palace deserves that, just like Luton did the week before.
Do you not think referees need to be a bit more like savvy to it though? Like you can see what Virgil van Dijk's trying to do, and it's a Premier League game. Surely the referee can say, look, like give the lad a chance to move, like to get back. You're just trying to kick the ball off him, and just book him for it. Like he's trying to cheat his way through a game, isn't he? Book him for trying to like influence it. Influence it,
like, definitely.
Anyways, Liverpool ended up winning that game 2-1. Brighton against Burnley was next. That finished 1-1.
Who? Brighton, Burnley.
Burnley.
Good draw that for Burnley.
Good draw. They won 5-0 through the week. Burnley. I saw good points. The 4 points in 2 games. That's not bad for them. That's probably pushing them up through the. Whether they'll be close to getting another bottom 3. No, I think. Obviously,
we'll miss the next one.
I will miss that one. We've already spoken about that. Sheffield United.
Massive win.
1-0
Massive win that for Sheffield United. Yeah, that could be a turning point for them. You know, they needed a win. They're getting it at home.
That just come in.
Aye.
We'll see they sacked their manager. We've never seen that coming.
No.
Wolves 1-1 with Forest. It's one of them games.
Do we normally do that tonight?
Aye,
we'll do it, don't we? We'll do it. Aye.
1-1 with Forest.
Mm-hmm.
And then Villa beat the Arsenal 1-0, 5-5. What do you think of Villa?
Well, for the title contenders, can you say that? I mean, when Newcastle beat them 5-1 at the beginning of the season, everybody was slating Alex Ferguson on the next interview he had because he said, like, who did all the teams that he watched that weekend? Villa looked the most.
He said he couldn't believe that Villa lost 5-1.
Lost 5-1. And you look at them now and they're like, well, the third still or second?
Third. I think
third in the table.
37 Liverpool, 36 Arsenal, 35 Villa.
Is it?
So it's 2 points.
It's close, isn't it?
It's close.
It's close, like.
Very good win. I think that's 14 in a row for Villa at home.
Aye.
I definitely think you've got to say, I mean, it could be another Leicester, couldn't it? Because they were fighting relegation last season when Unai Emery went in.
And you know what? Like,
remember that Gerrard?
Aye.
He got sacked. Emery came in,
aye,
steadied the ship a bit, brought some good signings in.
Unai's beating Arsenal, you know, like his old team was sacking him. Like, that's a massive win, isn't it?
Yeah, massive.
That's exactly the games that you want to be winning, is them against a team that thought that you weren't good enough to manage them and take them forward. And to be honest with you, Gary, if I had to, like, if it was Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, or Villa, it's Villa every day of the week for me to win that league.
1,000,000%.
It is like
I love the fairy tale story.
I love the fairy tale story, you know, like
it gives people belief, doesn't it?
I mean, if you were to have a quick look at how much their wage bill is yearly, it'll be like, aye, good luck to them, just not against us. Josh. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, go on, read it.
Josh Wilson, Joe Nayu, very soft yellow. Totally agree. I've got to show this one from Owen Bergreave. Melly, do you think Man United will be in the Premier League longer than Max Coffee Table has on Marketplace? He's got it on every week.
Still got to get
started at 20. I think it went down to 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 3.
You should buy it off and put it back on. 20. Sell them at 20 straight away.
Aye, so what, you know. Yeah, lads. Mint. Melly, I replied to your video from Hodgson. He was spot on. He's telling the truth. Klopp more or less picks his refs now, and Arteta is the same. Yeah, he's we posted a video on Twitter. If anybody's on Twitter, go on there, and we are called Talking Turf. Give us a follow. Gary's is Brotherton23. We're on Facebook as well, and we'll be on a few more social media sites in the very near future. We had Aaron Longstaff here the day who was busy setting up OBS, which basically means that we'll be able to play ads better by the touch of a button. You'll be able to hear with no doubt. We'll not have the same problems as what we had earlier. He's an absolute genius with a computer. We're going to do pre-recorded shows as well, where we're hoping to get Dobie on. I know the darts is coming up, but we're hoping to get Dobie on. We've got Brad coming on, and we're trying to interview quite a few people where we'll do the recording in here, and we'll edit it and get it uploaded onto the site.
Else that wants to come on there?
I mean, we've got a phone line here. I just need to get a phone, so we will start taking phone calls as well, where we can get you into the studio. And yeah, I mean, look, we're doing all right. We're getting there. It's just taking time, but we will get there. We will get there. But like I say, if you can help us get out there, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Hit the notify me, which means that you'll be notified when we're going to go live, and it all helps. And I really appreciate it. I really do. And so does Gary, from the bottom of my heart.
Thanks very much.
Honestly. Comments. Where was I? Josh Wilson. Did you see the challenge on Callum Wilson from Romero? Should have been a red card. I didn't see it, did he?
I didn't see it, but it didn't surprise us.
No.
Come from Romero. I think he's one of the.
He's a hefty challenge. Did one in the first half as well, didn't he, Josh? Where he took somebody out in the first half as well, I'm sure. Villa's away firm is not good enough to challenge. It's a 3-horse race. Form, he must mean. Mind you, have Man U in it. Come you, yeah. When I looked at Man U, man, being getting man. Stop mentioning Man U.
2 points off the top.
I used to work with Ian Brotherton years ago. Any relation? Not unless he's a millionaire, unless he's a long-lost uncle. Right, let's crack on with the rest of the... Aye.
So Sunday results. Everton, obviously, after a 3-0 win at home to Newcastle on Thursday.
Who?
Won again, 2-0 at home to Chelsea.
Aye. So that means, right, that winning at Everton isn't for everyone, is it?
It's not. It's not.
I mean, because the other United, I'm not even mentioning, was there the week before and they won comfortably, didn't they?
Did. 3-0.
Scored an absolute early. It's not for everybody. Like. Anyway, it's not tight with them.
Good result for Everton.
Mint result, aye. They've got the top 3 now. Have a quick look. Aye, bottom 3.
Minus that 10 goals.
Point reduction. Aye.
Just
have a quick look and see where they are in the league, yeah. If you got Flash Score, download Flash Score. It's a mint app.
Everton is on 13 points. They're one place above, but they've already given themselves 4 points cushion over Luton. Sheffield United 8, Burnley 8, Luton 9.
It's tight at the bottom as well, like a win for the bottom 3 and a lose for the top 4 above them puts them like 1 point behind each other, like nearly 78 places, isn't it? It's a mint league, it's a mint league this year.
It is.
Absolutely cracking.
Fulham 5-0 at home to West Ham.
It's an unbelievable result, and somebody somewhere would have had that on, wouldn't they? Everybody, doesn't matter what result comes in, somebody's always put it on, in the bookies.
5-0.
5-0.
West Ham, who's got a good win away at Spurs on Thursday night.
And they're doing well, aren't
they? They are doing well.
It's mental. Honestly, that's all.
West Ham would have probably went level on points had they getting a victory there today. So I'm obviously pleased they didn't. But it just shows you how tight it is. I saw 5-0 defeat for West Ham. Poor result for them, I suppose. But then Luton 2-1
against City.
Beat off City.
So look at that.
The other day, I seen some of the Richard Keys posted on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
He was basically having a bit of a bad at Ten Hag because he was saying how he won Manager of the Month, and he's turned around and he's went, hold on, he's won Manager of the Month. He's lost. He drew 3s each with Galatasaray in the Champions League. Totally irrelevant. Got beat 3-0 off Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. Totally irrelevant because it's not the Premier League, you retard. And then,
sorry about that.
You know what I mean? But this, it's the agenda against Man U that I'm getting at. Yeah. And then he's saying 1-0 against Luton, belittling Luton.
Aye.
But then you look at it and you go, wait, hold on, Luton, the same Luton that drew
With Liverpool.
We're
Lucky against Arsenal.
Unlucky against Arsenal. Obviously ran City close to the wire today.
Yeah.
And
He's horrible.
And then he got on about Fulham, and he's got the last minute goal against Fulham, and like you're attacking, like Liverpool's had to score four worldies against them, but it was a good win.
Mm-hmm.
And you just like,
stop disrespecting them.
Stop disrespecting them. Either they're a good side. We were looking.
We were looking at 1-0.
I get it, but like
give a good game.
Aye, and then 4-1 to Spurs over Newcastle.
Eh?
They lost the game.
Nah, Eddie Hughes.
Oh, 7 goals in 2 games.
Eddie Hughes.
No.
Get him out. Useless. Will we beat Liverpool? Who?
Not a chance.
Do the weekend? Not a chance. He's a way to get it.
Way to get the board.
And Geordie, see if it, I'll tell you what, stand there. Put it on there.
Yeah.
I would face that camera with it though. Let's see if we can see it. Yes, that is mint. And what we've got coming up is we will have this on the side where we'll be able to input our scores automatically, and it'll work it out. It's all coming. Stay with it. Keep tuning in. It's good crack. You'll be able to phone in, get your comments in, etc., etc. Man U, next 2 games in the Premier League are Liverpool and West Ham, both away. Big trouble ahead, lads. Why not likely? It'll be typical of Manchester United to go and win both them games.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's just who we are. But I just hope it's not the same as the last time doing Liverpool. I had proper little man syndrome. We were trying to jump on the bikes. We're trying to jump on them electric bikes. You know, like where you think it was asking for my license and everything. I says, it's the police. Right? I said, that doesn't matter. Oh well. Leave it. Ross Hope, Eddie Hoot, love it. Who do you reckon will be the next manager of Sunderland? I reckon Roy Keane.
Well, is he being?
I'm telling you, honestly, could be. Right. Why not? Right. Yes, what predictions from the weekend? Just put it down a little bit there. Doing a bit more. Doing. Stop, because that light's getting in its way. Right. What was the first game?
Liverpool. Palace against Liverpool.
What did I go for?
2-1 Palace.
Should have been 2-1 Palace.
So 0-1.
0-1. Gary.
I got it right. 2-1 Liverpool.
Can't believe that. That's the first one and he's getting right.
You know, I got the first one right last
Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Is he now what?
What?
I'm sure. Right. Oh, there. Tell us if this works. Did it work or not? Hope I've torn it off now if it did work.
What was it porn?
Applause. Right. Oh, well then. Next.
Brighton at home to Burnley.
Yeah. What was the score?
3-1. It was 1-1. So.
What did he go for?
I went 2-0.
All right. 0-0.
Nah. 0-0.
0-0.
United against Bournemouth. We both went Man U, so that's 0-0. Sheffield United against Brentford.
1-0 Sheffield United.
You went 2-1 Brentford. I went for the draw.
0-0. Oh, we're useless at this.
Wolves against Forest.
Yeah.
You went 2-0 Forest to Wolves. I went 2-1.
0-0 again.
Some tricky, like you.
Villa.
We both went for Villa. You went 3-1 Villa. I went 2-1.
Right.
So we both get a point. 1 point. So that puts me on the 4. Melvin's on 1. Everton Chelsea. You went draw 1-1. I went 2-1 to Everton. So I get another point there. Puts me on 5. You're still on 1. Fulham West Ham. You went for the draw.
Yeah.
So 0 keeps on 1 point. I went 2-1 West Ham. So I got Nout keeps me on 5. Man City Luton. You went 3-1 City. I went 2-0. So both get a point.
Yeah.
So that puts you on 2 points. That puts me on 6.
6.
Yeah. Spurs the 2. He went 3-1.
Get in. 3-1.
You nearly got it.
Nah.
1 point. That puts you on 3.
Oh.
I went for the draw. So I get zilch. 6. So that puts you on 3 points, me on 6. That's what do you get last week?
7.
So 7 for Mally, 6 for Gaza, and then this week 3 for Mally, 6. I'm consistent, like
Jesus.
10, 12.
Wait a minute.
There.
I hope this works. Wait a minute. Did that work? An applause.
Was it?
Aye, hopefully. Anyway, aye. So 10-6. 10-12.
10, 12.
Oh. Nightmare. Well, we'll be back on what day is it today? Lost me days.
Sunday, the day.
Thursday.
Oh,
we
yeah.
will be back on Thursday with our next results.
So the Champions League, and then we'll predict the weekend and stuff, I suppose.
Yes. What, we're gonna predict it tonight?
No, the weekend. On Thursday, we'll predict the weekend results.
Yeah. So I'll try to run that, and Geordie's saying I can't hear anything because, mate, honestly, I've had absolutely no luck tonight. No luck at all. There's no change in the Sunderland manager. But Geordie Toon for Life is saying Melly Barnes, next Sunderland manager. I wouldn't do any worse, I didn't think. I'll just play all the young'uns like they're doing anyway. The scoring is like the Eurovision Song Contest. Neil Potter, just for Britain. Sunderland's next manager. Mint result for Sunderland. Actually, let's talk about that because we should talk about the championship as well, especially the North East teams.
Yeah, 2-1 at West Brom. Especially after how they just got like a caretaker manager at the minute.
That Sunderland have they've had a bad run, haven't they, lately? They've had a few defeats. Borough got beat 2-0, I think, as well. I don't know who off, but they got. You know who's manager there? Kieran. Yes. Team mate.
Number 2, wasn't he?
Aye.
We have to boot him at Man United,
I know. Sunderland's next manager will be a foreign manager. They're already looking abroad.
Gus Poyet.
Unbelievable.
Bring Gus back.
No, Ross says Ipswich. Cheers, Geordie lad. Yeah. So look, we're in now on 10 minutes now. Time absolutely flies by when you're enjoying yourself. We got off to a bad start, but thanks for sticking with it. Help us get out there. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. Join me again on Thursday night where we should be.
I was just gonna say, like, if anyone's got any ideas, so like what would like the talk about, like on the show, we're open to it, aren't we?
I definitely, like I said, we had Aaron come in the day and like he said, some grass on there would look lovely, and it does. It sets it off, with the pitch behind one and that, and he's working backstage for it, and he's helping us as much as he can, and we need as much help as we can to start off with. We'll get there and it'll be absolutely fantastic, and likely we'll look back. But at the end of the day, we just need to keep putting footage out there. As long as you can hear, as long as you're enjoying it, then that's all we want. You'll know the crack. Great result from Ross Hope, and seem to be playing with a bit more freedom. And last but not least. Hold on. One more's just come in. Enjoying the show, Melly and Gary. Good crack. Thanks, mate. Really appreciate you saying that. Owen Fairgrieve, we'll leave it at this one. It's Big Roy Keane. I hope you're right, because I absolutely love Roy Keane, mate. Keane, magic. He wears a magic hat. And when he's seen Old Trafford, he said, I fancy that. He didn't sign for Arsenal or Newcastle, because that's right. Thanks very much. We'll see you out with this, and we'll see you on Thursday. Cheers, folks. Thank you.
Cheers.